that, we're going to have our first speaker, which is Matthew from Evergood Elixers. It looks like your screen thing came on here. But it's got a fun, exciting product with a little kick. So,
hello. There we go. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Every time I get up, I always want to say good morning, Vietnam, because anybody who laughs, I know about your age range, right? Good morning, Vietnam. Well, I'm Matthew Hexter. I am with Evergood Elixirs. And Evergood Elixirs makes a delicious and refreshing skier pee. Doesn't that sound really good about now, right? How would you love to drink ski urine? No, that's not what it is. Although it looks a little bit awkward, right? This is a lemon citrus wine, and Snow Bunny is a strawberry lemon citrus wine. And what I do is I ferment them dry to about 10% ABV, alcohol by volume. By comparison, beer is about 3 to 4 to 5%. Pure cane sugar, so it tastes like adult Kool-Aid. How good is that, right? So I did bring some samples over there for you to try, so please try it after the meeting, not during, right? You may get a little loopy. Don't want you to do that. I'm going to just grab this here. So I know 1 Million Cups is all about our story. So I just thought we'd have a little story time with Matthew. So let's go back in time. I launched Skier Pee and Snow Bunny. Let me do this here. There we go. I launched this product in September of this past year at Peak Startup, officially, right? But that's not when it started. It actually started about 2010 when I got into brewing beer and then making wine. I then launched a brew club. I co-founded a brew club, which is still alive and active back in the Ohio area. I went to a chemistry of brewing class. At that time, the only collegiate level class offered in the country. And I was honored to audit it. I actually wasn't in school, but I audited it. So I really was able to learn and dive deep into the chemistry of why does all this stuff happen, right? So from there, I made tons of batches that were terrible, some batches that were good. Kind of landed on Skier Pee and Snow Bunny, right? But that's not where it started. Back in 90, 91, 92, my wife was gracious enough to gift me for my birthday a coffee class. And so I learned all about coffee roasting. I bought my own roaster. I started buying my own green beans. And then I went and worked for somebody who actually learned how to roast coffee out in Papua New Guinea in the bush. So he really understood it. He had a big Hobart 9-pound roaster, that time about $100,000 coffee roaster. So I got to really learn how to scale. But that's not where it started. Because I've started numerous businesses over my time. In fact, the running joke in my house is that I have an idea a day, right? And most are not good, right? But that's not where it started, right? So we see a snapshot in time of where we're at, right? You see a snapshot of time of my company, but what you don't hear is the backstory of how I got there. So I want to share with you a really cool book. This is called Love Does by a guy named Bob Goff. And in it, he tells the story of every year giving his kids what he calls epic fail tickets. And so he'll go ahead and give a ticket and say, this next year, I want you to do something so crazy that you're going to epic fail, right? Now, obviously, if you're skiing, you don't want to try something that's epic fail, right? I'm going to go off the black diamond. I'm going to do a super jump. No, it might not be a good idea. But where's the safest place for us to try things, right? For me and my family, in our home, right? I want to try things. I want to keep learning, right? I don't want to just kind of hit my stride in my 50s and all of a sudden, what? Am I not allowed to try new stuff? What's up with that, right? So when I did that back where you started, I've started numerous businesses. Fail. Fail. A whole bunch of fail, right? Right? Henry Ford said, failure provides the opportunity to begin again, this time with more experience, right? And so that's why we want to keep trying. Now, let me bring you back to my idea. Yeah, I'm trying to think which slide I had. So, Ski European Snow Bunny. I launched in September. I thought, how am I going to get this to stick, right? Everybody's got an idea, but nobody really cares until somebody actually reaches out their wallet and pays for it, right? So I got on LinkedIn and I stalked about 300 people. I sent out about 300 in-mail messages, just one line. Hey, this is what I'm about. I think it would fit great with you, right? It would really set you apart. Just listen to me for 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking for. Just give me 5 minutes. I knew I only needed one response. The VP of Operations for Vail Resorts HQ called me back. I'm like, it worked. Whoa, go figure. The hustle worked, right? Of course, then I actually had to present it, right? I got the meeting, but then I had to present it. So, scheduled our first meeting. James and I, who is helping me with this project, we went there, and the guy no-showed. I'm like, really? Really, dude? Turned out he had the flu. His whole family had the flu. It was just all a fluster, right? We got it rescheduled 2 weeks ago. We go in, and I'm gonna hold this for the questions, but I asked 2 of the most important sales questions you could ever ask. If you ask these 2 questions, it opens the door. I asked these 2 questions. All of a sudden, the dude is like, we love your product. It's unique. I can sell this thing. I pull out stickers. He's like grabbing the stickers. He's grabbing my product, and he finishes by saying, okay, so we want to trial it at Breck this summer. We're going to order 1,000 cases. You need to have them ready by the end of May. Except in the liquor business. It's not like I can just open tomorrow. The amount of legal restrictions and hoops you've got to jump through is unfriggin' believable, right? Where am I at?
You're actually
am I done?
Just getting ready to give you the hook.
All right. So on that note, thank you for hearing me. So, questions?
What were the 2 questions?
Nice.
Everybody's going to ask.
Yeah. I have James to thank. James is a phenomenal sales business development guy. And when we first got together, I wanted him to coach me through, kind of walk me through this sales meeting. And I'm talking all about my products and this and that, and he's like, dude, you're making this about you. This has nothing to do with you. He said, so here's the first question you're going to ask. You're going to say, Patrick, who I met with, Patrick, what attracted you to my product? Why are we having this meeting? Because you could meet with anyone, right? That was the first question. The second question, as a follow-up, and I mean, he just teed it right off for me. It was awesome. So then I said, okay, Patrick, what are 3 things you'd like to get out of our meeting today that would be helpful and most productive for you? And by asking those 2 questions, it just opened the floodgates. I mean, the next thing I know, this guy is like telling me everything, about why they want to have our product. Yeah. Other questions? Yes?
What made you decide on the name? Because when I hear Elixir, I tend to think of cannabis industry.
Yeah. Well, Elixir is that, but it's also, if you look it up, it also can be, a liquid as well. It's actually a liquid remedy. right? So I've got a little liquid remedy for your après-ski, right? Yeah, so that's why I chose Elixir. Yep, Flank. Yep, so these are 16-ounce bottles. The 22-ounce bombers over there, which we're going to go for, or probably sell in retail, retail for between $10 and $12. We're still trying to figure out the price point for that. Yeah, yes?
What's your next product?
Good question. So probably the next one is going to be a lemon blueberry. And we're thinking about calling it Bluebird. Because if you ski, Bluebird is the perfect day. Yeah, but we're kind of brainstorming all those different kind of name ideas. Yeah, Bob?
Okay, so you said fail.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what's the difference that's making this now a success? What have you learned? What have you applied?
Yeah.
How does this get into the next step?
Excellent question, and thanks. In fact, I think that's one of the most important questions. We tend to come up with ideas or launch ideas that we think are cool, right? But other people don't need. Right? And that's called product market fit, right? In fact, I brought another book. This is called Disciplined Entrepreneurship, and it's written by the guy who does the greenhouse for MIT. He studied 25,000 startups over 25 years and created a little Candyland roadmap. And one of the first things he talks about is product market fit. So I've had lots of ideas that I thought would be amazing, that really resonated with me and my heart. I've had other ideas that I'm like, and other people are like, I want that, right? And so as a business person, I've learned the three most important words, which actually, these are the three most important words in a marriage. Are you interested? You, not me. Right? As a business person, it has to be you, not me. And so, for whatever reason, these have seemed to kind of found a blue ocean, a very unique market, and people are pretty jazzed about it. So I'm going to ride this horse as far as I can. Yeah.
Did you have the ski theme prior to your meeting? Did you bring that to the Vail individuals?
I did. Actually, I can credit one of my sons, Logan, who's not here right now, but we used to joke that he was Logan's slogans, because he would always just be whipping up all of these slogans. And so one day, actually this a couple years ago, as we were naming this, he said, "Dad, you should call it Ski or Pee." So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Whimsical, a little irreverent, right? I mean, it's going to stick. People are either going to love it or hate it. I love it, right? Right, and then it just kind of went from there. My daughter, who's in graphic design, did my initial mock-up for my labels, so it's been a good family business. Yeah.
So, I'm a home brewer, so I know how difficult it is to come up with a unique product. So congratulations just on that. My question is, in Colorado, it's craft brews, it's cooler, or beer flavored water, as I call it.
Yeah.
But true craft brewer.
Yeah.
How do you, what's your methodology to get kind of breach into that type of a market in Colorado with the craft brew being so strong here in this market?
Sure. Actually, it's not as strong as you think. A lot of my research shows that we've hit a craft brewing bubble, right? And a lot of people are beginning to wonder if the bubble's going to burst. We've got more breweries opening now than ever, and yet market research shows and says that for the 20-somethings who kind of are coming into their own and selecting their adult beverage of choice, beer has gone down 30% since 1992. And in fact, in 2015, millennials drank more wine than any other generation before them. So if you look at beer, it's actually kind of stagnating, right? A lot of the millennials now are getting into gin, vodka, whiskeys. They're trying, different sorts of things. So I'm trying to really kind of, ride the wave of that. Yeah. Yes.
And now that you're looking at some such success, are you still guided by epic fail?
I'm sure I will be. Yeah. So one of the problems that can happen to an entrepreneur is when they have early success. So back in 2001, I launched an information security consulting firm with 2 other people. This was 2 months before 9/11. 9/11 hit. One of our founders was former NSA and Naval Intelligence. Man, we had bank. We were billing anywhere from $250 to $500 an hour, 40 hours a week. I mean, it was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're going to go buy a new car. Why not, right? I mean, we just thought, okay, we figured it out. And so what I've had to learn over time is that it's not as easy as that, right? And so with these products, I've tried to stick with the mantra crawl, walk, run. Right. So before I invested anything into this, I wanted to see if it had stickiness, right? So I think I only spent maybe about $100 between my labels and business cards, and even then I'm like trying to get coupons, right? So when this hit, I had one of those oh crap moments, because now all of a sudden I got to go find space. I've got to buy about $25,000 worth of equipment, all that stuff, right? But what's cool is people seem really jazzed about it and are getting behind this initiative. Yeah, Bob.
So now, is it a seasonal product? I mean, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We don't ski year round. Is this a seasonal? You're only going to do it in a seasonal, or is there options there for that?
I love you. You're like totally teeing me up. Yeah. So I was telling my son, the joke was when I did my pitch last September, I spent months on a 5-minute pitch, which allowed me to spend minutes on my minute pitch here. But Bob helped me with that. And part of what our idea is if we can get in the ski culture, the whole ski community, it's kind of an X Games culture, right? And so we've actually mocked up summer labels, right? So if you've got skier P, we've got a water skier, right? Snow bunny, we've got mountain biking and other things. So we can come up with different labels to meet that. But what we don't want to do is change the name, because once you hear the name, it kind of sticks, right? But we can come up with seasonal labels. Yeah, good question. Yes?
You made reference to Blue Ocean. I'm just curious, have you read the book Blue Ocean Strategy?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea. Kind of like Good to Great. I feel like it's for existing businesses, right? Where you've got a lot of competition, right? And you're trying to find the differentiator that makes you different, right? Last week, Frank spoke of his roofing company and was able to provide some differentiators, right? Some competitive advantages that kind of puts him in more of a blue ocean. If you just out the gate try to find a product that is completely different than everybody else, people may not understand it. That's the risk you take, right? And so people know wine. People know wine coolers. So what's interesting, though, is wine coolers aren't made with wine. They're made with malted barley because of the 1991 excise tax law, which just taxed the bejeebers out of wine. They have since reduced that, right? And why people aren't getting back into it, I don't know. Yeah. Yes?
Could you explain a little bit about the timeline between when you were given the gift of 1,000 cases, and then you have fermentation and all the things and the processing to get to May?
Yeah.
Just walk us through how you overcame that challenge of delivery.
I haven't. Yes, I haven't. No. Every day I go to bed exhausted because I'm in meetings, I'm making calls. This afternoon I'm going to look at some property, some space. Yeah, it's crazy nuts. I need to get my product in my fermenters by April 1. Otherwise, the end of May is not going to happen.
Could you tell
Yeah.
us what you need? Maybe we can be helpful and
Sure,
use towards something.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'll wait till the last question, the super special, and then I'll unload on you. Yeah, yes.
So if you got pulled over and you've been drinking skier pee, how would you ever pass the pee test?
Can I use that in my marketing? Okay. Good. Yeah, definitely drive an Uber or a Lyft or whatever what's the other one called?
Z-Trip.
Z-Trip. Z-Trip. Z-Trip. Z-Trip. Z-Trip. Z-Trip. Yes, we met with Switchbacks Soccer, and they're going to have skier pee and snow bunny. So they said they use Z-Trip. So I got Z-Trip. 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 Okay. Yes, Ben.
When you, at your Vail meeting, when you asked the guy what attracted you to my product, what was it that attracted you to your product?
Yeah, good question. The very first thing he said was, it's unique. He's the strategic sourcing buyer for an $8 billion company. That's what he and his entire group does. He went on to tell us, I've got this wine here, I've got the beer here, I've got the spirits here, but I see you fitting right here in the middle. I don't have anything like that in my portfolio. I want to be able to offer something like that to my guests, right? For him, it was all about the unique experience. Not to mention the fact that he loves the names and they love the labels and just the whole Colorado mystique. In fact, if Vail would have asked me for exclusivity, I would have given it to them, but they didn't, which is awesome. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So how do you keep somebody from copying you? One of the big people coming in and doing something like that.
Sure. Well, they're going to have to figure out my formula. They're going to have to spend weeks, probably months, years making it. I mean, I've got an 8-year head start. I mean, my formula is down to a T.
Stuff like that?
So through the TTB, you kind of do like a copyright. Like I'm a songwriter, so my songs are registered through BMI, right? So similar, like the TTB that governs all of this, that's what I'm looking for. You submit your formula, and that's like your copyright. Yeah, good question. Yeah, could they? Of course. Yeah, I mean, how many beers, how many amber ales are out there? How many IPAs are out there, right? There's tons. But that's why, as soon as we get in Vail, where I'm going to spend most of my initial money is on marketing and branding, right? Straight out of the gate, right? Because I want to be the first to capture. And if someone else says, hey, I want to buy you, I mean, that's our exit strategy. Yeah. Yes.
Are you focusing specifically on retail for this, or are you looking to get into restaurants? I noticed you said that Vail is somebody that's picking you up. Is that going to be in their restaurants? Is that going to be in stores on the location there?
Yeah.
And then my next question is, because I worked for a brewery for a while, locally, up in the Denver area.
Okay.
And their biggest fault was they decided to invest in the bombers.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the active climbers and outdoors people here are straight away from the bombers, and there's actually a large drop in sales for bombers and more into 16-ounce cans and things like that. And have you thought about that as well going into retail for this product?
Yeah, excellent questions. Let me answer your first one. So let me give you a primer on the industry. So since when they repealed Prohibition in 1933, they set up a 3-tier system so that a lot of people could make lots of money, mostly the government. It's completely inefficient, but it has not ever been updated. We've tried. So you've got the manufacturer, the producer, me, you've got the distributor, and then you've got the retailer. You know this, right? I'm just kind of sharing this with everyone. Here's the catch in all of that. The catch is that the distributor wants his cut, the retailer wants his cut, right? Distributor wants at least 30%, retailer wants anywhere from 30 to 50%. So I sell this for $10. I make anywhere from $2 to $4 per bottle, right? Which is crazy, right? With all the capital costs and production. So what's cool in Colorado is I can self-distribute wine. Oh, here's the other catch. So you've got spirits, beer, and wine. You have different laws and regulations for each one of those. It's crazy nuts. Yeah, so I can self-distribute to retailers here in Colorado. So we are already actively meeting with Switchbacks, we're meeting with liquor stores, so we can self-distribute. So right there, I can make $7, 70 cents on the dollar, right? Now what's even better is as a winery, I can do direct to consumer, so I can do mail order. So currently, I can ship to 45 of the 50 states. And so with that model, I found a virtual distributor. There's some of those set up. Through them, I can make 90 cents on the dollar. So initially, we're going to promote through Vail. We're going to let them do our marketing for us. Thank you, Vail. Love you guys. Love Vail. Then we're going to slowly transition. The game plan is to slowly transition to where the majority of our sales are direct to consumer, because that's where we're going to make the most money and also have the most control over our customer experience, which is really important to us. Because one thing I didn't share is our mission is be awesome. And so we want to be awesome in everything we do, but it goes even beyond that. The book Love Does, Bob Goff talks about being secretly awesome in the things that you do, right? So part of what we want to do is we want to encourage people who want to resonate with us to make it about you, not me. So yeah, a lot of stuff floating on there.
Okay, we have time for one more question for a super special question.
Do you want to choose them?
No, you go ahead. It's your show.
Okay. Well, you've asked, but you haven't asked. Yes.
Okay. What about export? Are you thinking about Europe and Asia for your products?
Yeah, great question. Where are you from?
France, usually.
Yeah.
From China.
Okay. So I have a friend in Belgium who's very interested in this.
That's a great location.
It is. And what's crazy is on Amazon, you can actually ship alcohol in the EU. So once we kind of figure out production here and production capabilities and kind of get our systems and processes in place, I'll be making a trip over to Belgium, and we'll probably duplicate that there and then start to push it out that way. Yeah, great question.
China?
Definitely China, for sure. Yeah. Yes, they do. Yeah, and I actually have somebody there as well who's interested. Yeah, but again, crawl, walk, run. I mean, right now I can't produce any. Right? I'm a little behind the curve.
Who would like to ask our super special question? Yes, Jay.
Matthew, what can we do as a community to help support and uplift this project?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I need commercial space. 3 weeks ago. Seriously. Here's why. Because the only way I can get my Colorado license, the only way I can get my local license, the only way I can get my federal license is by having space.
How much space?
I only need about 500 square feet. Needs to be PIP 1, PIP 2, M1, M2, light industrial. All I need is water and a drain. All those usually come with either a man door access or a garage door, right? Because we're going to need to move things out. But as long as it's zoned those, I mean, I don't even need to stay in the space, right? All I need is an address, right? So then I could do drawings. I could take it to land use. They can say, looks good. And then I can say, sayonara, I'm going somewhere else, right? It's just goofy, these laws. Again, very antiquated. But yeah, so thanks for asking. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right.